sure why some fellas face cross-thread this morning. I'm not too sure what happened last evening to have them in that kind of way this morning, but they are here and we are here to bring you another Heng. It is the 15th day of July 2021. It's Thursday. We're into the second half of week number 28 with 53% of the year, almost 53.5% of the year having come and gone. Day number 196. There are 169 days left in 2021 to make it great. Good morning to you wherever you are, the north, south, east or west. An overcast morning, but with some sunlight coming through the clouds. So more than likely, or just maybe, we could be in for a bright, sunshiny day. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. My face is very nice. I witnessed a very interesting game last night.
I say good morning. You want to come and talk about game?
Very interesting. West Indies and Australia. It was a very nice game. West Indies lost by 4 runs. There is no 5-9,
Okay.
but we had an opportunity to do that. We had to score, I think, 11 runs in 4 balls, something like that.
11 runs in 6 balls.
6 balls, right. So we could have gotten it. It went down to the wire. I'm not frustrated about it. I mean, it shows that we have the capacity to chase down runs. The problem was our batting. But it seems to me now the batting is coming to, I would say, we are now picking. We didn't lose many wickets, about 5, 6, thereabout. And so I enjoyed the game. It was good for cricket. And I have nothing to be sorry about. Let me say good morning to some of my friends. Good morning to Rose. Good morning to Moms and her son, Lincoln, and his brother out there in Massac. Let me say good morning to Honorable Blackmore, to the Prime Minister. Good morning to all my folks out there in Pottersville. I always go to watch my cricket either in Baytown or down at the Federation Drive in Rosling's Bar. Good morning, Rosling, and also to all my friends in Dominica. Thank God, I'm very much relieved this morning.
What are you relieved about?
I'm very relieved, and I must say it openly and publicly, that Newson Chosky is no more. He's gone back. And I'm happy.
Well, good morning to you, Brain, and good morning to Daryl, and good morning to all our listeners. It's a very pleasant Thursday. Let's hope that all of Dominica will be as productive as can be. Let me say good morning to the Honorable Prime Minister and his entire cabinet, all the Labour Party parliamentarians. Good morning to Mr. Ian Monroe, Flossie Joseph, Oster Lansam, Omar Lafont. Good morning as well to the folks at Robinson's, Ken and your wife, and the other members of staff there. Good morning to Peter Sogo. I haven't heard from you in a little while. Let's hope you're having a pretty decent day. Good morning to my Jarvis out there on Queen Mary Street. Good morning to the folks at, well, I don't know. Let me just say good morning to everybody.
8:19 is the morning time. The Heng brought to you compliments the good folks at Flow Dominica, Busy Bubble Laundry, Best Price, and Auto Trade Limited. We'll be back to get right into the discussion.
Secure your valuables and important documents, including medical documents, passports, and personal identification. Wrap in waterproof bags or containers to keep them safe in the event of leaks or flooding during a passage of a storm. A message from Best Price, where you save a lot on hurricane season essentials.
Daddy, you dirty your clothes again, and mommy not there to help you though. Well, bam, bam, daddy dirty his clothes.
Easy breezy, busy bubble laundry service on the hustle. Washing, drying, folding service. Washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies own cribs and toys. Come on, daddy, bring the bag. Dirty stains from wine and malts. Come on, man, it's not your fault. Busy bubble.
Visit our new location on the Castle Comfort Highway next to the Cicero Hotel. Busy Bubble Laundry, taking the busy out of your day.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, sign it up on the love. Easy wins with love. Easy wins, blow.
easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $15 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, sign up, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash or data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, sign it up, bundle up. Easy wins with Flow. Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
We are launching the new 2022 Nissan Frontier. Join us at AutoTrade this Friday, the 9th of July at 10 a.m. Come test drive this vehicle and learn about different financing options. Remember, at AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
Are you looking for good eggs? I mean quality fresh eggs straight from the farm? Well, we have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the quantity. We've got the right amount. Visit us at Prince City downstairs Kyrie FM on Independence Street for your fresh farm eggs, or call telephone 448-7331, 448-7330, or 448-8752, and we'll get you your fresh farm eggs.
I'm not exaggerating.
AutoTrade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At AutoTrade, we only recommend the best in quality because at AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline Lubricants, now distributed by AutoTrade.
.24 is the morning time. Yesterday we started a conversation and both senior counsel and myself senior counsel had to get off the phone, and I also had to leave the studio for reasons. So we're back on this morning. Senior counsel, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Daryl. Let me immediately apologize to you for yesterday. I had an unexpected visitor who had come about 4 hours earlier than I had expected.
Yes.
And I couldn't get back in time.
Understood. Also, I too want to apologize. I had to leave the studio to attend to something yesterday morning there, but the guys kept on. But senior counsel, we started a discussion yesterday.
Yes.
Read the DPP. Let us continue.
Yes, and I was saying that at that hearing, the judge asked Sir Richard Cheltenham, who I think was representing the Prime Minister Gonzalez, and I, the Attorney General, how would you describe, or what are the powers, in summary, of the Director of Public Prosecution under the Constitution? He says, look at it this way. The criminal justice system is like a big farm that's fenced off with a gate, one gate. And the person who has the responsibility to decide whether you will be allowed onto the farm, onto the field of criminal justice, is the Director of Public Prosecution. And he's the only one that holds the keys to that gate. And if you do not satisfy him or her, and in St. Vincent it was a him, that either you have an offense known to the law, or based on the evidence that you have disclosed to him upon his request, it does not disclose a case that warrants prosecution or is likely to lead to a conviction, then he will not open the gate for you, and you will not be allowed in, and that will be the end of your case. And the judge said, I see. And that's what no amount of semantical, dishonest distortions and twisting of the language of the Constitution can get around the simple description of a gatekeeper to the criminal justice system, as Sir Richard put it. And Sir Richard Cheltenham is one of the most experienced criminal and constitutional lawyers in Barbados, and in parts of the OECS where he's practiced quite a bit, like Antigua. So the DPP is the gatekeeper, and it is her job to allow that persons are not allowed to trespass onto the field of criminal justice with cases that are wholly without merit, as in our case. No question about that.
Indeed. But Senior Counsel, one of the things that people have been asking me about is what sort of redress can the people who were put through this, Prime Minister and others, the people who would put through this, what sort of redress can they, because people are very angry that for all these years, this nonsense hung over the head of the Prime Minister and the elected representatives, and they want some kind of redress.
I think the best redress that you could possibly give them is a political one. I am not sure. The magistrates court, I do not think, has the authority to order any costs. Certainly the DPP doesn't have that power. And I am not sure whether it makes sense at this late stage to start any proceedings for malicious prosecution. I would not advise it. It's much too late and much too long. But I think the clearest possible redress is a political one. That you understand the nature of the beast that we've been dealing with and speaking about for years. That these people are not interested in the law. They're not interested in facts. I mean, just look at the chairman and the political leader of the United Workers' Party contradicting themselves on what the powers of the DPP is.
In the same studio.
In the same studio at the same time, sitting within a arm's distance away from each other. And in addition to that, here you have a completely hopeless case that has been presented to the DPP and potentially to the court. Right? And not a single member of the United Workers' Party's executive or candidacy in the 2014 election gave evidence, with the exception of Nicholas George. And Nicholas George does not identify one person who was there or who was corruptly treated and influenced to vote in a corrupt and way under the influence of the Rasta and the Pastor, as I call it. None. Lennox gave no evidence. Parks gave no evidence. Danny Lugie gave no evidence. None of the other candidates gave any evidence. None from the Concerned Citizen Movement. None from the Concerned Lawyers. None from the Rattlesnake Rodney. None. And the question that I asked on the next level with Simeon, and that I'm asking today, does any sane human being believe that these people had evidence that they could give to the court, and they kept it away from the court in their back pocket or under their bed? No. They didn't give evidence because there's none. So they handpicked a bunch of boom flies, people who are either friends of Lennox Linton, activist supporters of workers, or who depend on money in terms of videos and audios, and from the United Workers' Party, and two fellows who tried to fly a drone over the Prime Minister's house. I mean, you bring these neo-activists, blind partisan activists as your 7 or 8 witnesses. And the leader who has been bellyaching about corruption doesn't put pen to paper to give evidence.
You would think you'd be up front.
Three of the elected members don't. Nobody does. Nobody for the United Workers' Party executive other than George gives evidence. Linton gives none. Spag, Danny, Matt Pelche, Loftus Jura, Afri Mater. You bring blessings, but which court in the right mind is going to accept anything from blessings? I mean, people need to understand the scope of this assault on the rule of law and these 15 members, right? And it is no wonder that during the hearing of the case before the CCJ was asking Carol Shillingford about whether these were abuses of the process of the court, and asking me whether or not the DPP had the competence to intervene, and I said yes. Just imagine. No senior member of the fundraising cartel of the Q95 whorehouse, nobody came forward to give evidence of anybody being corruptly influenced by the show. But most importantly, Linton, Spags, Lugue, Matt, Afi, Rattlesnake Rodney, all of these, none of these guys came forward to give evidence. And it begs the question, why? Why not? Why not? And the only answer, the only question you can ask, do you believe that Lennox Linton had evidence of people being corruptly influenced and decided as a matter of principle, look, that's not enough information, or that's nothing. So I'm not giving a witness statement in support of men who are my boom boom flies on the stage, my so-called bodyguards, my mouthpieces on Q95. This is another example of Lennox Linton throwing people under the bus. He threw his wife under the bus, he threw Mervyn under the bus, he threw the 7, 8 fellas and one woman who are activist supporters of his under the bus. Send them with garbage in their hands to face the either the intervention of the DPP or severe cross-examination in the court. And so help me God, that we were as ready for them as we could possibly be.
Indeed. Right. But what is also strange is that he could go to court for a person he claims he does not know, but for his own people who are there with him, he was nowhere near the courts. The courts lost all its friends after on July 8th.
No one turned up.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys lie so much. They say, oh, Astafad not here. They must have known. He must have forced the I've never spoken to the DPP. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Just let's get that record straight. Justin Simon was there. Justin Simon was not in court. Penval was not in court. The only 3 persons that had an interest in the case that turned up was the DPP, the learned DPP, Andrew Pilgrim, and Lennox Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lennox Lawrence told me so. They just didn't turn up. Nicholas George didn't turn up. And another thing too, Darren, Nicholas George talking about, well, Tenval's lawyer wasn't served, right? This thing about justice. Well, up until the 8th of July, nobody had told us, or the court copied to us, who was going to come to represent Tenval. What I recall Justin Simon's letter saying that he was willing to take up the retainer. I do not recall any further communication from him or from Senval or from the United Workers' Party as to who was going to represent him. But Senval himself was served every single document. He was served the notice of discontinuance because, as you pointed out to us on the group chat, it was on Sparks John's Facebook page and on the Facebook page of the United Workers' Party. Isn't that so?
Yes,
is.
that's why I saw it. And we have to also point out that the important part, the cover letter, was never posted.
No.
The cover letter where the DPP explained her reasoning was never posted.
No, they wouldn't do that.
No. Okay.
I mean, Daryl, it's like a cancer. Unless you surgically remove that cancer, or you circle the cancer with anti-cancer drugs, that cancer will spread. And we have an obligation to the people of this country to immunize the people from the cancer called Lennox Linton and the United Workers, and perpetuated by the pharmacy called the 295. Media house, pharmacy, take your choice. It's a cancer. And they just cannot help but lie. They just cannot help but lie. And the historical facts support our position. You cannot tell me that Justice Rollins, Justice Thomas, Justice Glasgow, 3 different judges, all came to the same conclusion that your election petitions were hopelessly drafted, discloses no cause of action. 20 of them were dismissed. Well, the one with the French passport went to court, but the Court of Appeal by a majority said it should never have reached the court. It should have been struck out by Thomas as well. 3 different judges come to the conclusion that these things were useless. Right? One Court of Appeal judge actually said there must be a price to pay in costs, because this idea of politicians dragging their political fight into courts must stop. The United Workers' Party are yet to reflect on their own selves, on what they did, and what it is that they presented to the court was completely hopeless. And in 2005, they had a senior counsel from Guyana. In 2009, they had a senior counsel from Trinidad, Douglas Mendes. 2019, they had Edison James's daughter. When the judge Cottle basically said that Linton was activated more by malice rather than by the truth. This is an observation of a judge, of Linton telling the truth on oath. Sorry, not telling the truth on oath. And once again, according to Linton, it's not his fault. It's the judge. Wow. It goes to the Privy Council. The Privy Council said the High Court judge was right in his assessment of the evidence of Lennox. In fact, he even tried to pull a stunt in front of them, said may have as opposed to must have. Again, he's a poor victim, he's a poor black victim from Dominica, and the 5 white men were not prepared to give him justice. So we fast forward to the rapist case. That my Justice Bernie Stevenson says Lennox Linton exaggerated the information he had before him because there was no evidence of rape. She asked Gildan Richards, where is the evidence of rape in this record? I cannot find it. Gildan Richards tells the judge in open court, in front of Simeon Albert and others, it's in Linton's head. So once again, it's not the judge, it's not Linton's fault for lying. It's the judge's fault for finding that he lied. And Linton made a curious statement that the judge did not respect his position as leader of the opposition. Which takes me to the last point I really want to make before I have to go. They keep talking about no constitution, no law. Darren, I've explained that a million times. That was my language that the Prime Minister used to accurately reflect that there was no law that could stop him from being nominated. If there was a law, the United Workers' Party would have used it. There was none, and they made no attempt to stop his nomination. Right? But the party and the persons that are the ones seeming to believe and to be claiming in a very disguised and dishonest way that the rule of law does not apply to them is the leadership of the United Workers' Party, Lennox Linton and others, who are forever attacking the independence and impartiality of the courts whenever there are rulings against them. There's never introspection. And now let me explain to you what I mean. Right? When we lost the CCJ case, the legal team didn't go on the radio and bash the CCJ. We had a post-mortem meeting, which we discussed afterwards with the Prime Minister. And we were questioning ourselves, is there something else that we could have done? Lennox Lawrence, Heather Felix Evans, and myself. Whether we took too narrow a view of the case, whether we should have taken another approach. Right? That was our response. Our response was not to bash the 7 justices that were sitting there.
No, or play victim.
Or play victim. We respect the decision of the court. I disagree with it. I'm entitled to disagree with it. But I've never disrespected the court.
No judges were called any names or anything like that?
No. In fact, we were wondering whether we may have let the clients down by not taking a different approach or by focusing too narrowly on 1 or 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So we did self-introspection. When we spoke to the Prime Minister said, guys, you all did the best that you could. He's happy with what happened. He's not happy he lost, but he's happy with what we did. Right? And to me, that was the signal of confidence that we wanted. And we no longer continue to question whether we may have made a mistake. But our immediate reaction was, what did we have done wrong? Did we let our clients down? None of our clients went on radio to bash the CCJ. None of us on the radio went on, even made any sarcastic comment about the court. I said from the beginning, I congratulated Carol. I said that I respect the decision as a final court, but I am entitled, based on my understanding of the law, to disagree with it. And that's the difference between us, a cultured, civilized group of persons who are on one side of the political divide, to the pirates of the Caribbean who are on the other side, who want to have a policy of cut and burn. You know that saying they have? You cut and burn. You burn everything, you raise everything to the dust, you turn everything into dust because it does not satisfy you or meet your thing. And the latest victim is the learned director of public prosecution. That's the latest victim. Right? It was all the judges, it was the speaker, it was a black country bookie, born Dominican, born president, Dr. Liverpool. The racist slur on him by Lennox Linton. It's always a personal, invective, pejorative attack on everybody. And they've been attacking me too. But bossman, I really don't care. None of these fellas that are on Q95 that are attacking me could fit my shoes. All of them put together can't fit my shoes. So I'm not going to bother with them or respond to them. These guys are jokers, they're losers. Right? They're all part of this pathological lying regime called the United Workers' Party. We have to continue to do what we have to do, and we have to just move on.
Indeed.
So Daryl, unless you and Ben have another question for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Senior Counsel, thank you very much. Once again, thank you for continuing from yesterday. And of course, as you said, we have to continue to enlighten the people as to what is going on.
Yes, and ask the question.
Yes.
And Lennox, the same thing when the Prime Minister asked him in the Parliament, Oti Laja, from these two memorandum of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes and says, well, he didn't get money from the Economic Citizenship Program. We all have to ask him, well, if there was evidence, why didn't you put it forward? Why did you have to send 8 boom boom flies to do it? Why didn't you do it? Why didn't Danny Luge or Staff John do it? Or Afi or Matt? Why didn't these guys do it, or Rattlesnake Rodney? Why did you have to send sheep to the slaughter? Because the partisan political affiliations with the United Workers' Party was easy for us to destroy, including the fundamental point that I want the listeners to grasp. Nobody was identified as being present at the meeting, at the concerts and the meetings, who was corruptly influenced to vote, and in fact went on election day under the influence of the treated to vote for somebody that otherwise he or she would not have voted. That is the question we have to keep asking them. Have a good day, Darren.
You have a good day yourself, Senior Counsel. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. 8:46 is the morning time. Now, I wanted to educate this morning on certain things. Okay, I wanted to educate, and I'm just trying to come up with the section there where I had to read for you. Okay, I wanted to educate. Good. Let's take this phone call and let me find this section. On the local line, good morning.
Good morning to my favorite boys.
Good morning, Sakafet.
But it's a long time.
Long time, my patano.
Oh, got some. Oh, God.
Go ahead, listen to me in the phone.
I am just calling the madam, but I am not 100% well.
God is good. You'll be okay, okay?
All the time.
Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 eyes that is troubling me very, very, very bad.
Oh, you need to get some eye drops.
But I have to go and see. I had an operation a couple times back.
Uh-huh.
And I have to go on Monday to see the eye again because the other eye took up a cataract in it.
Uh-huh.
So I have to go and see the doctor on Monday.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully she might tell me for surgery again. I don't know.
You don't know. Let's see. Let's wait for what the doctor says, okay?
Yes.
All right.
So you, Mr. Favorite, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I am so happy for you. God will always bless you, speak love.
Thank you very much, my dear, okay?
So you have a blessed day, my dear.
You have a wonderful day yourself.
Yes, because my brother told me you come to see him.
Yes, I went to see him some time ago. Okay, I have to go back very soon.
Okay, then.
All right?
Okay.
All right, then. Have a good day, okay?
Okay, my dear.
Okay, you have a good day. I like this lady so much, you know. Now, the section of the Constitution that deals with the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. And folks, I want you to listen. I like to read for you. Section 72(1). There shall be a Director of Public Prosecutions whose office shall be a public office. Brain, you're the teacher. What does that mean?
You're a public servant.
Okay, good. And there shall be. The Constitution enshrines that a public office should be constituted.
That is it.
That shall be called the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Yes.
Section 72(2) states, the Director of Public Prosecutions shall have power in any case which he considers it desirable so to do. A. To institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court of law other than a court-martial in respect other than a court-martial. Court-martials are military based. In any court of law in respect of any offense alleged to have been committed by that person. Section 72(2)(b). To take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that have been instituted or undertaken by any other person or authority. And lemon sot mochi.
Read it down.
Lemon sot. Le ou pasa ou pa ale l'école. Eve ou kwe ou se met a terre. Ou connaît tout. You know everything under the sun. You will make stupid statements. Okay? So bozo, the word and is not just a free letter word they put there for people to it's not just a conjunction. It has meaning. It has relevance. Section 72(2)(b). I'll read B and C together so you understand. The DPP shall have power in any case in which he considers it desirable so to do, to take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that have been instituted or undertaken by any person or authority, and C, to discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority. You guys understand that, right?
So he sees B that says continue, but he doesn't see C that says discontinue.
No.
And the man read the thing, you, Joseph Thomas, let's put him. He go to school with the man,
You're not me alone.
You mean to
Brain
tell
go to
me?
school together with him too?
You mean to tell me? Your teachers at school, up to whatever point they kick him out, did not institute in you all the meaning of the word and?
Let me remind you, Daryl, I'm a graduate of the Dominica Grammar School.
So
Don't
am I.
categorize me. Do not and take offense to that. I'm a graduate. I'm a graduate.
Sir, I apologize.
I'm not a
deeply.
dropout.
Kick out.
Or kick out. I'm a graduate of the Dominica Grammar School. Allow me that privilege. Do not malign me. I'm very serious about it, Daryl. Very serious. Because when you bring me in that level of intellect,
sir, can you? I
please
deeply apologize, and I too would have taken offense if you did. So yes, I understand, and I apologize for that. I understand, and I apologize. But gentlemen,
he sees B that says continue. He doesn't see C that says discontinue.
On the local line. Good morning. On the local
Hello.
line. Yes, good morning.
Good morning. You apologize this morning.
No. Mr. Adams is correct. I saw what I did.
You make brain very serious. Don't pass up the pass about my
The man stand up, we.
I mean, very serious. You can put brain into that. I mean, a fellow that was in education. I mean, our man. Brain, bonjour.
Bonjour, madame.
Oui. Daryl.
Yes.
You see, what happened in the DPP, long those things should happen. And I always say that. Because remember, myself was a constable and I read a lot of in those laws and monitoring. So I think what she did, it was the right thing. Tony always won. When I just told you, congratulating Sarah, Tony had them carried out. He just maybe did not go to the right.
Marlene, I'm not too sure what is happening, but you sounding Marlene, you sounding very distorted. I'm not too sure what is going on there. We can barely understand what you're saying. Try again.
You hear me better now?
A little better. Go ahead. Let's see what goes on. Go ahead.
No, I hear you better.
Good. Yes. Good now. Go ahead.
Tony was always right all along. From since when he went to the CCJ?
Yes.
To ask them to fill that out. I think he was always right, but maybe he should have gone to the PP. When I heard the congratulating cry, I said, what you win? Understand? Tony was right. Tony always won. I don't mean nothing this thing to criticize the young lawyer. But what's going on? The man, that was something they should have, look at and for that was a long time. I hear them talking and cursing up and doing a whole lot of thing and asking the lady a question and disrespecting her. The lady has done the right thing. And it's time the judge because, hey, when we leave to Mr. George, going to Mr. George, we have to wonder how many young people and how many people been persecuted by them man, And DPP never had a say. Just pick you up and build up story and you understand what I'm saying? So right now, I think the lady did the right thing and I think the policemen, anybody who investigating cases, bringing it before the magistrate, they need to analyze the story properly, materialize it, get the witness down. Human rights. And I think she did it. That young woman, she did the right thing and not embarrass our government and take them down that road. And I think if they're talking now, you need to judge, you need to answer a lot of questions. Because he's something we don't know and he's warning the commissioner of police. So he needs to tell us why is he saying what he's saying. But before I go, we know all that they was trying. We know that. They've been dismantled because nobody is going to do anything. We'll never say it in the public. But he still needs to answer some questions. We dismantle them. All this kind of violence what the man was giving on the radio, all those kind of threats and all those kind of things, they plan demolish. So that is why he's talking. But he still needs to answer some questions and say why he's saying what he's saying. Because all they was doing is go on the road, try to send stones behind the police. That's why we need to see when they did right, we have to congratulate them. Because if actually they had go back and hit them and or send back bullets and be so angry, you see what would happen? Because they know they have more arms than the police force. So, but all we can say, they've been dismantled and they are disgruntled men. And Jah don't give no evil man power over a good man. So see you morning.
All right.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, madame.
All right. See you and good morning. So I read the section for you. 72, section 72 of the Constitution that speaks about the control of the public prosecutions. And it clearly states, there shall be a director of public prosecutions whose office shall be a public office. And it explains the power and authority of the director of public prosecutions, what that person can or cannot do. It explains how that person can go about conducting their duties. It explains what authority that person has in conducting their duties. And it says clearly that is a public office. So that person who holds that office is answerable to the public and represents the public. On the local line, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was there wondering for who you reading that
Why?
a fool needs no education.
How you need?
Lennox cannot understand that. He still will not understand. Bozo cannot understand. He will. The only thing he knows is continue and discontinue.
And he don't even understand that.
And he don't even understand it. So you reading the Constitution, whatever for us, but not for Bozo. Bozo cannot understand that. That's why I tell you, a fool needs no education. He can never be educated again. He's a fool. Every time he speaks, he puts his foot in his mouth. He's just a stupid man. He needs to be eradicated. Good morning.
Right. You have a good morning, madam. And I think I can speak for her when she says that politically. Okay? She means that politically. And just to prove what the lady is saying is true.
Take over and continue.
But that's why I said now I'm C.
No.
Why she didn't act on the C?
But
So she says,
if Spags have to correct you, who need battery? Spags have to correct you? Aye. Spags, Satan trying to correct sin.
Let's play that again.
I mean, come on, man.
take over and continue.
But that's why I said now I'm C. Why she didn't act on the C?
So C says, to discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority. Now you have to read this and read it well.
Right.
What he say? Read it and read it well.
Read it well.
It says
Read it
here
and
in
read it
C,
well. Let me use it.
at any point.
But Spags even laughing the man.
Read it well.
More tan dotish la.
Point before judgment is delivered, the DPP can discontinue any criminal proceeding that the DPP himself or herself has instituted or undertaken. Or the DPP can also, at any stage before judgment, discontinue any criminal proceeding that is instituted or undertaken by any other person apart from the DPP.
Mais 6 heures par fouzo me chaste.
So The DPP did not need to take over the criminal prosecution to discontinue it. And in fact,
I don't know.
there is no provision in the Constitution talking about take over and discontinue. It is only take over and continue.
But what the man read the thing, huh? And here, Nicholas.
What was distasteful for me is the disrespect.
No, that's the wrong one. Let me play Nicholas for you.
And in fact, there is no
First, the Director of Public Prosecution has the authority under the Constitution to take the action, the decision that she took, and that cannot be questioned unless...
He didn't tell Lennox that. Ipadi Lennox, that cannot be questioned. You read it yourself. It's not me that read it for you. You read it before me. You told the people. And you have, of all people you making laugh, you Lennox, is Spags. Of all people on this earth, you making sit down in a studio and laugh at you, is Spags. On the local line, good morning.
Hello, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Douglas, good morning.
All is well?
All is well.
All is well.
Not too bad.
How are you?
And it is for this reason that Lennox Lincoln is the most dangerous person in Dominican politics today. These are the reasons why that Lennox Lincoln is the most dangerous person. Forget about all of the politics, the United Workers' Party, and what they're saying and what they have already done in the past. But listen to the statement. A basic statement. He's reading it to himself.
Yes.
He's reading it to himself. He's saying it out, but he's coming to a different conclusion. And it's not because he doesn't understand or he doesn't know. It's because he's a wicked person. He wants reality to be what he thinks it should be in his mind and not what his eyes are seeing.
Even the Constitution is his opinion.
Even the Constitution is his opinion. Even when his colleagues sitting next to him, like Nicholas George, is telling him what is the correct interpretation of the Constitution, he agrees to have a different interpretation. That is not a person that is deranged, you know. That is a man that have his normal senses in his normal mind and goes about his normal daily business, is making his normal decisions. So that's not a man that's deranged. Let's not get it wrong at all. Lennox Lincoln wants the reality to be what he wants it to be. We saw it when he allowed Roseau to be burned down. We saw what he said on the platform. He will end his meeting when he wants to end his meeting, and not when the police gave him the authority to end the meeting. You heard him again in Salisbury that they will stone the police like rain. I mean, what other evidence we need to recognize that this man is the most dangerous person to be in Dominican politics today? Because, you know, some constituencies and some constituents, for one reason or another, not because they were not traditionally liberals all along, but because they feel, oh, I saw a house and I don't get it yet, and I saw a uniform for my child and I don't get it yet, and blah, 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 and the pal rep and things. Can do go and vote or go and vote because which is against the Labour Party just to make a statement, not because they're not Labour, right? And cause government to fall, comrades. That is the danger about this thing. Are you guys with me?
Yes, of course.
That is the danger about these things. You remember Newtown people voted against Ambrose George, not because they were against the Labour Party or they were against the progressive country, but just because they were dissatisfied at the time with their power and they wanted to it. That happened around the country, gentlemen, and this bunch of imbeciles could end up in government. That is the most dangerous thing that can happen to Dominic. If we think Maria was bad, United Workers' Party is worse. Look at their record in and out of government. That is what I'm afraid of. That's what frightens me every day. I get nightmares about this thing, you know, and I dream of Lennox Lincoln being Prime Minister of Dominica. I jump up in my sleep.
You will never see that. You will never see that.
I get nightmares about this thing. I'm so mortally afraid of that happening, my brother, because I know what will happen to the country. Look at what a man can, in his sane, calm mind, can sit down in opposition and say, when he in government now, and he have complex issues of investment and governance and running the country and navigating his way through all of those IMF and World Bank and structural adjustment and the ECCU and dealing with the EU and all of those complex contracts and agreements. What are you going to do? One line of misinterpretation in those complex agreements and treaties could plunge the country into debt and chaos for generations. And because we saw it with the Trinidad loan, we saw it with the bonds, the $150 million that they went and carelessly took from Trinidad. And look at the country for years to come now, still paying back. We pay back $300 million, almost $500 million already because of the mistakes of these guys. So this thing is not a joke, gentlemen. This thing is not a joke. Take that seriously. I'm warning my countrymen against those guys. I think that you guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
You guys are taking your time and you're disseminating the information. And if Senior Counsel Tony Stefan has not received a national award yet, I think man should be given the.
He got the Cicero some years ago, you know.
Thanks. This man really comes on the air and explains to Dominicans the dangers that we could put ourselves in if perchance these guys could be voted into office, which I know will happen. But as long as they continue to be active politicians, anything can happen. Look at what in Salisbury and in Marigot. Not because Marigot people think that Hector, John, or Leonard Sinton is capable of representing them, but because they just feel they have a traditional dislike for the Dominican Labour Party. That is what is happening there. You know. They're not voting for these guys in their personal capacities. They're voting for a party that they think they can go back to the glory days of the lies of Edison James. That is what is happening.
I like the way you put it, the glory days of Edison James and his lies.
And his lies. Because it was Edison that promised them $1 upon a banana. And they're still looking for that.
They still imagine.
It's like a person who take his first hit of cocaine or crack, and he gets so high, the high was so euphoric that he descends into being a paro and he's still looking for that first high. We have to be careful, gentlemen, about these dangerous guys in the leadership. I mean, when a man can go and sign on affidavit and sign on oath and lie to the courts, who was a senior police officer, senior law enforcement officer, and lie and say that he voted for the opposition, even when he himself was a candidate. You understand the magnitude of what is happening there? You understand how far those guys will go?
No decency, no morals.
I speak to you, and as I speak, I shudder, you know. I shudder. You know, they themselves spoke about an international airport that they wanted to build. They plunged the country into immense debt to fool the people into thinking that they could build an international airport. Today, we have a legitimate program ongoing to build an international airport. They're against it. I mean, how much more dishonest you have to be for me to realize that you're a dangerous person? Tell me what you have to do. I have to come and shoot me then, or attempt to kill me then, for me to realize a dangerous person then.
And you're right, you know, Minister. We keep looking for something that we probably ourselves know we can never see. We keep looking for some decency, some intelligence, something.
Daryl, I think so. I think you put it squarely. We looking for something and we treating these guys as if they're capable of change. I think so. If your mother, Daryl, your daughter, you have a daughter, right, Daryl?
Yes.
Keep warning your daughter, when we know there, do not let this man into the house. This man, we call him uncle, and he's nice, and he brings sweetie for you, I mean lollipop. Do not let the man into the house. The child grow up, she still let his man into the house. Teenager, she let him into the house. She's in her 20s. When he abuse her now and he rape her inside the house now, that is when you're going to want to, you worry in there. And what you know the man character all along. You knew what the man was capable of. Why you let him into your house? We know what the United Workers' Party is capable of. From the stealing of Mahmoud's car in Grand Fort, down to Pegua, down to Salisbury, up to Marigot.
In Roseau.
In the middle of Roseau, a meter Roseau. Burn down the places. Ordinary
in Parliament.
Innocent businessmen in Parliament gather stones to stone down the place.
Parliament, yes.
So there is no law that can bar people then from public office then, or from so anybody can just
wash your foot and come.
What you do and just come and say
that is what we have to address.
Look at legislation
reform. That is what we have to address.
Yes.
Not voters.
All of that should be in terms of reference.
Yes. Who should run and who shouldn't run?
Yes, there must be some qualification that qualifies you for
to offer yourself.
To offer yourself for electoral office. This is a mockery of the system, and even the courts. They just making a mockery of the courts. They just disrespecting the court. Any decision that goes in, disrespecting the judges.
We're losing him.
Willy, one interlocutory application at the CCJ to jumping up as is a final decision that in a case, all that time they don't have no evidence they prepared. After 6 years bail out because they couldn't even find a lawyer for him and they had Elas there, none of them came.
Elas, nobody stood up.
One of the lawyers ran elections for them. He came, and not even him who was prepared to go on record as representing him, man.
You went to court a time. The court had how many friends? 1 month later, the court have no friends. What the court do like that?
No friends.
The abandoned ship.
You go to court the first time. I mean, I used to be a lawyer. Some lawyers, when they know so and they have a matter in Marigot, they can't come. They say, doggy boy, rush up there and hold papers for me. Okay. I go, I tell him I hold in papers. All right, fine. You hold papers this time. But the matter is adjourned, let's say, for a month. You speak to the lawyer say, boy, doggy, take over that case and stuff. Go run with that. You go back to the court and you tell the court you're representing the client now. Okay, you hold papers the first time. All 4 of them was the holding papers. In between that time and the next court appearance, we couldn't arrange with the client, let alone the sponsors of the client, to come and represent him as his lawyer. Or you bail out after being friends of the court, or you bail out.
If the ship taking water, why not abandon it now? Abandon ship.
That is what you have to do, yes. There's a constitutional issue on now. Lennox Linton have a skewed, outlandish interpretation of it. The senior counsel has an interpretation of it. Where is they call them alternative lawyers, whatever.
Elas.
They said that one of their reasons for being was to educate the public on legal issues. And they would come, every time there's a legal issue, they would come and explain. Well, there is a legal issue now.
Explain.
What is your opinion or your view, your professional opinion on that matter of the DPP now?
They holding it in their back pocket.
The Constitution now.
Yeah.
Come and interpret the Constitution.
Yes.
The ALAS was formed for you, though.
All you were there. Come.
Yes.
But since the formation.
Press conference.
Yes.
Press conference. Saying what was their reason. Okay, they would take one issue every week and go in the media and explain. One time they would take issues of succession. One time they take issues of property law. Another time they would take issues of matrimonial court and family law. And they would explain. You understand? Well, no, there's a constitution. Come and educate the public.
Come, yes.
Senior counsel saying one thing and Bozo saying one thing. Although I shouldn't be really disrespecting the senior counsel to call Bozo in the same
sentence. I don't want to already brain vex with me.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that.
All right. But Minister, thank you very much. And we have to continue fighting because you know. And I'm depending on you in particular for this one. You know the budget is coming. The macaque will come and try to bring that up. You know that. So you have to be firm and ready to defend.
Yes. Yes. I did. I'm waiting like a hawk.
All right. Just give the one I'd like to see you there little sweet eyes and do what you have to do.
Wait, don't get involved in my business.
No. I not in it.
Don't get involved in my relationship.
Okay, that's it. All right.
Okay, guys.
All right. Thank you.
All the best, man.
Thank you very much. No, man.
Boy.
Joke is joke, man, fellas. We laugh at these things. But senior Mr. Douglas said it best. This man knows what he's doing and he's deliberate in his action.
What the man is doing is appealing to his political base. He wants a revolution.
No,
in
not
the
a
country.
revolution. It's not revolution.
What he wants?
He wants a riot.
Bloodshed he wants.
Riot.
Well,
You know,
riot leads
a
to
riotous mob. That's what
bloodshed he wants.
On the local line, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tate. How are you
Good
this
morning, Auntie. How are you?
How are you? You're sounding good, man, this morning.
I ride by the beach there, watching them. Some things I love to see by the beach. I see them while they're watching them. Anyhow, Brian, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good
morning.
And Joe, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Anyhow, Mr. Brian, don't vex with my nephew, okay? He apologized.
Mm-hmm.
And it take a real man to apologize. That's why I love my nephew so much. And that's nice, nephew. Anyhow, nephew,
yes,
you know, the leader of the opposition suffering from dyslexia.
Dyslexia, yes.
Yes, he's suffering
It
from
is
dyslexia.
suspect, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's why you cannot understand what he says.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And these people who was sitting down with him laughing, I hear somebody in the kitchen laughing.
Imagine you have Spags laughing you.
You understand? Linton said that good for him because he too much like Tete. He always do fun, doesn't understand what he's saying. You understand? And there's people need to teach him a little lesson. Linton make use of the school.
The college is free. The college is free.
That's why you say like that. You know, Proverbs chapter 1 have a verse tell you, fools despise wisdom and discipline, and that is so true. You have a blessed day.
You have a great day, Auntie. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. The man telling you, read, see, Spag of all. Imagine Spags laughing you. It's not an it, but just imagine you say something and Spags have to correct you and laugh you. Nice thing you don't show yourself. You go into self-imposed quarantine. You know. Huh?
Oh, exactly.
You go into you never want people to know.
Spags?
That is you. Spags laugh you and have to correct you.
You're going to exile.
No, man. You finish with that. You say no. No, man. Laughing, man, sit down there laughing, Linton, and correcting him,
telling him it is to be continued or to be
no,
discontinued.
Man, come on, man, come on. And in this country in 2021, this is who is offering themselves as an alternative. Who wants to lead this country, Mr. Thomas?
Well, it doesn't seem to bother Lennox at all as to, you know, the things that he does. All he wants to do, according to what we have come to realize, is to get into office by any means necessary. He figures that he has a right to it. That he has a right to be leader of this country. I don't understand. He doesn't seem to understand. Our democracy tells us that people are voted into office. That is our democracy. That is what we have come to know and realize and understand. But Lennox has a different thinking. He thinks that he can bubble his way, he can rough his way into governance of this country, and he will do anything to try to get there by that means.
That and God face you will not see, because Dominica is the only country which has a dictator in opposition. A dictator in opposition. My way or no way at all. Okay? That's the same set of people who take money from the public purse and constituency offices remain closed. Dictator in opposition. On the local line, good morning.
Yeah, David Radio, good morning.
Good morning, Senior Minister.
Well, everything's okay?
Everything is good.
David, let me first of all say I'm running to the people of Dominica, my constituents in particular. And permit me, Daryl, to make a quick announcement before I just briefly, because I getting really tired of the stupidity of Lennox Linton. And at least for once, Spraggs exonerated himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spraggs and even Nicholas George to an extent, you know, who consistently referring Lennox Linton to Section C. Section C, they were saying in fact that Section C gives the DPP the right to do what she did. You hearing me?
Yes.
Nicholas George admits that the lady acted properly.
Mm-hmm. Within her authority.
Within her authority under the Constitution. Spraggs is saying to the gentleman, and Spraggs, Spraggs,
of all
one of
people,
the dumbest members of parliament, in every sense of the word. And Spraggs is saying to you, Mr. Linton, Section C explains what you're trying to explain. He reads it. It's very clear to any national assessment school child. You hear these children reading in this reading program.
Oh, yes, man. Yes.
You hear these children, any one of these people who was selected for the reading competition can explain to you what the law is saying in relation to that particular matter. Lennox Linton, he reads it. He says where the lady on what bed, where she can discontinue, where she can continue, and then he's saying that while she can continue, Daryl, how come you have the authority to continue a thing, but you had the authority to discontinue it? And in the very act of reading where it says that she can discontinue any matter brought before her, before judgment is granted, she can discontinue.
Yes.
And it does not even say she must explain why she discontinue.
It says clearly she doesn't have to.
She doesn't have to explain why she discontinue. Discontinue is in the act. But I really see my problem. Well, we know Linton, so really, this guy is deception from his head to his toe. This man has lived by deception, and he will die by deception whenever God decides to make that happen. But this is not so. Lennox Linton is Lennox Linton. And the United Workers' Party themselves recognize the inability, the dishonesty of Lennox Linton. That they themselves have moved away from him. Not just saying that they're not associated with the United Workers' Party, but have moved to set up their own rival organizations. To rival Lennox Linton for the leadership of the United Workers' Party. It's unfortunate that none of them, except Annette, none of them have the balls to tell him that the only person who had the balls to tell him that his leadership is bad and that is Annette. That's why he don't like the lady. That's why he leave the lady continue to make a fool of herself there in the parliament and to be subjected to the criticism of the public because of utterances in parliament with no guidance.
So that's why she does what. So that's why she does what you and Ian to give us some refuge.
well, I don't know.
Ian, she does. Okay, all right.
So that is the deception that he has. That the United Workers' Party, who matters in it, not Brian and Blessings. These guys are nothing in that. These are just errand boys. These are just foot soldiers of the United Workers' Party. The real matchmakers are these people in the legal thing, are these businessmen. These are the deal brokers. OJ Serafin broke a deal. I don't know if he lives in Lennox in the code, but OJ, David Bruni. These are the deal makers in the United Workers' Party. Brian singing for bread, Loftus singing for supper, Matt singing for everything. But the deal breakers have moved away. MJM, MMCE, MJM, and these pretty girls. I mean, everybody has found a creative way to move away, to move their support away from Lennox Linton as leadership of the party. Corbett is president of the new party. This miserable fellow that was at the 8 Bank. He have his own party, my brother. He's president. He's president of the party. It's your party. He have his own party. He and them little children there, and we're not sure who else in that with them. You heard Blessings bossing people's skin left, right, and center. Thomas Dayton getting blows. Alex Bruno getting blows.
You don't know who, where, you know.
I mean, this is like a broth. This whole United Workers' Party is like a cook-up. You understand? Everything in a pot. But the only difference is that when you cook a broth, everything, if you do it properly, everything synchronizes. So the broth tastes nice. Because the garlic and the onion and the clove and whatever you put in the broth, they join together in unity to make a tasty food. The difference in the United Workers' Party is the more they mix it, the less tasty the political food tastes. So my concern is, where are the people who are supposed to be the custodians of honesty, of integrity, speaking the claim on behalf of God. They were sent to protect the people, and they will allow Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party to deceive an innocent people, to take their money under false pretense, the poor, extracting money from the poor under false pretense. And when the poor ask you what you do with my money, you make her feel like she's a nobody, she's a nothing. You know I go in. I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, extracting money for legal purposes when you have no intent of fighting no legal case, my brother. When you go and you look for trouble, you know it's not true. You know it's lie. But you don't mind, and he doesn't show up in court, except when he go on his own in thing. He doesn't show up. You hearing me? Where are the pastors? Where is Rodney agreeing that even when Spraggs and Nicholas George disagree with Lennox Linton on the interpretation of the law, and Rodney will not open that big, large mouth of his and to free up God's people, my brother. Remove the chains that the United Workers' Party have put around their supporters. Remove that chain, Randy Rodney. You have an obligation under God. That is what you took your oath for. Where is Pastor Jack? Where is Pastor Jack? Where is Issa, the businessman who came out and pledged his full and maximum support to Lennox Linton? Where is Issa? He in a barrel of pigs out somewhere. And don't talk about those Catholic priests. You know them. I'm a Catholic, so I'm very careful.
Yes, let's leave them alone. Let's leave them alone.
I can say what on top about Randy Rodney.
Yeah.
He's a fake. He's fake. So I can talk about that. And I will punish him for that. But when are these guys going to speak up publicly and free up the people and tell the people, look, we're sorry. We want to apologize for encouraging you and enticing you to support the United Workers' Party. We didn't know. But now we know and we understand the animal of Lennox Linton that we're dealing with. We want to apologize to you. You hearing me? I'm Daryl.
Yes, I'm there.
And Brain and Jyoti.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're there.
They have a spiritual obligation to untie the knot that has been placed around the people of Dominica by Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party. It is clear, it is evident, to lie to the people of Dominica, to tell them that the DPP have no right to discontinue, because when you read in that she have a right to do it, Daryl, when is Randy going to speak out? When are all these lawyers in high places who have compromised their integrity, their legal integrity, their professional integrity, have compromised it for some cheap political gains? But they know the law better than anybody else. And they refuse to come out to the Dominican people and say to them that that is not the interpretation. The law has been misinterpreted by Lennox Linton. At least that you can say, but say, to condemn him. Because if you can find the courage within you to condemn him, but at least say that people, I want to say that the misinterpretation. Find a nice way to say it, that he misinterpreted the law and so on. When are they going to remove the shackles of United Workers' Party psychological war on the people of Dominica? They owe it to the people of Dominica. All these businessmen that support Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party, all these priests, all these pastors, all these professionals in the ministries, all these professionals in high places, all these jackasses in the diaspora, who cause every day to defend Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party, knowing that it's wrong, knowing that it's an abuse of the people of Dominica and the Caribbean. Well, nobody else listens except to Lennox Linton. Okay, my brother, let's get that very clear. Nobody else has any respect. Not even his friend Shastley. Shastley struggled in his enclosure that he will not even call Lennox Linton to give him one half hour. Is it bad now? He went to his inauguration without invitation. That's the only way you can do that is if it's your partner, Daryl. You didn't invite me to your wedding, but if I show up at your wedding, you wouldn't put me out. I don't mean you. I don't mean you down on your wedding. I don't even say that. Show up. We partners.
Yes.
And shut on his partner that he went to Shasta inauguration without being invited. That is why he was left on his own. And they don't send a little old Suzuki Jeep for him.
Nothing.
They don't send a little donkey cat for him. He was on his own there. You know, and so on. So nobody has no respect in the world. No institution. No CDB. No IMF. Nobody in the world has any respect for the North. If his own party supporters have no respect for him, because they have found a creative way to move away from him. They're ashamed of the man. They're scared of the man. My brother, just come out and talk to the people and tell the people of Dominica, you know. Say it publicly. So this isn't about Lennox Clinton. Clinton is what he is. But these people that society looks up to, these men who we have to stick our tongue out every Sunday and take communion from them. I mean, thank God we have a little sanitization now, so that's a little better.
Yeah.
But in the spiritual realm, I mean, how does this priest want to give you the bread and wine of Jesus Christ when they sit there and they witness an injustice, my brother?
See nothing.
Against the people of Dominica, and they do and say nothing about it. But I'm very pleased. I hope it's not me that had that wrong. No. And I wish I was wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Boy, we have a problem in this country, my brother. That hate goes too deep. Those guys have allowed their hatred for Roosevelt Skerrit and the Dominican Labour Party to guide their conscience. It's not what it is. Hatred, jealousy, greed. And when I say that, they say they're going to sue me. Because I say they're jealous of Skerrit, they're going to sue me. I say they hate Skerrit, they're going to sue me.
And they hate the people. And they hate the people of Dominica by extension.
That is what it is. Because to impose that on a people, my brother, that is worse than slavery.
No, when you think
slavery, listen to me, my brother. Slavery, they can beat up your body, but when a man tries to enslave your mind, because physical slavery, there's abolished. Slavery can be abolished and you can be freed. We were freed as slaves. Physically, but mentally, the slave masters of the United Workers' Party have our people enslaved for their own personal, wicked, and evil deeds. And that is what the problem is. That is what the problem is, Daryl.
Yep.
My God, man, my God. What is wrong with us in this country? That no wonder you have all this societal problems in the society. Because the people we once look up to for giving guidance, these people have found themselves in bed with the devil. That's why our young people have so many challenges. That's why we have so much challenges in the society. Single parents, children, and so on. Because the people who in the past have offered solutions to our social problems, they have abandoned their role and abdicated their responsibilities, and they have become politicians and have mixed the work of church and state. And once you mix church and state, you're going to have a problem. I'm going to stop. So don't stop me. I will stop myself. I'll stop myself. I know, you know, I can feel, you know, when all you fellas start checking on your head.
I'm hearing you know, we're listening.
I'm a psychic, you know, I can see you and Brain and Jody, they look at you, when Mr. going to stop the boy? And pause to laugh. Because
no, we want to
the laughing matter. It's a serious matter that if not arrested, will cause irreparable damage to our country and our society. These men have to step back. These men have to, and we are the ones who can push them back. They have to step back and let the state function and let the religious people and the spiritual people, we have quite a bit of them in this country, you know, who mind in their business, they pray, they have their programs, they pray, quote the Bible and use it. But there are some of them guys who come out as being the most preacher, the most Catholic you can find, the holiest of holy ones. They hardly want to touch the ground when they walk in. And these are the dangerous people. Not Leonard Clinton. Leonard Clinton's fate has been decided. But these dangerous men you are walking in our society. This is the threat to the country. These are the people that we have to keep our eye on. Daryl, before I leave, And let me make another announcement to tell my constituents with books that they need to return the books very, very quickly, that we can tally those books, account for them, and that we can make book distribution very, very quickly in preparation for the next school year. We don't want to have to be scrambling towards the end. So all the people from the cottage constituency who have government books, who were provided with books by the state, by the government, I'm asking you to return those books to the constituency office that we can assign them to some other student and you yourself, because you will not get new books if you don't bring back the old ones. You will not get new books if you're not bringing back the old books. And I urge you, and the intention that everybody should have books, everybody should have uniform. Please bring back the books that we use so we can now redistribute them, restamp them, retally them, and redistribute those books. Daryl, my brother, keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Go out there, my brother. Let's have a blessed day. But our country will be liberated. Our country will be freed. Because these men, Daryl, these men, if they don't want to leave God's children alone, if they don't want to leave God's people alone, God will get angry one of those days. And you know, when God angry, Daryl, he can be really angry.
Yes.
And do not let the anger and the wrath of God fall upon you, because it can stay on you for generations. So let's hope and pray that these men will come to their senses and they will tell the people the truth. They will liberate us, and they will remove that shackle, that psychological shackle that Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party have placed in the minds of some people. Not all people, but some people. They're all Dominicans. That it will be removed and the people will be free to serve their God and to serve their country. Thank you very much, Daryl.
Thank you very much, Senior Minister.
Have a wonderful day.
You have.
I say Daryl, it's like the father, the son, and Daryl and Bridge.
Daryl Bridge.
It's like when the Bible tells you about man, it is man and woman.
Yes.
When I say Daryl, I mean Daryl, Brain,
and Jyoti. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Senior Minister.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you for that. I wish I could just end the program now. After that intervention there, I wish I could just end the program now. But Jyoti, it is what it is. He will continue to do those things.
I'm trying my utmost to understand why is it that the leader of the opposition continues to behave that way. I'm lost for words as to the reason or reasons why is it he continues. I mean, you can't be reading a document. It's right there in front of you. It's right there in black and white. And you're making a total fool of yourself like that.
On the local line, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Daryl.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Blah. I called you the other day in tongue, but you did not see me.
All right.
You were looking more at your dummy nose.
Yes, I will stop there and give you a little lecture about the history.
All right, good.
Now, my friend Mr. Osprey made a statement a while ago. What I want to ask my people, who gave Spain and Portugal in 1503, 1504 to go to Africa and enslave black people? I want people to do research. Because everyone is talking about the church. Question again. Who gave Spain and Portugal 1503, 1504 to go to Africa and enslave black people? When people find out the answers, they can ring you, and I'm listening.
Yes, let them do their research and then they'll answer.
All right, another question is, who are the founders of the Roman Catholic Church? If they do not know, 3 black men. I will tell them the name eventually. Because the Europeans had no religion. The concept of God came from Africa. But when people do not know their history, they are confused with confusion. But we'll discuss all that next month.
All right.
Take care of that.
All right. You have a very good day, Mr. Blah. Again, next month it's Emancipation. I know they had a luncheon earlier this week or last week. They had a luncheon of Emancipation celebrations. So quite a bit of activities. We'll use this medium to alert you as to what is going on. Progress continues in Marigot on the hospital.
Yes, Daryl, the progress continues. It's nearing completion.
Yes, nearing completion. Before the end of this year, I would expect that it could be commissioned and operational.
Yeah, piti koi piti zuzio ka finish, as they say in Patois.
All
Little by little, things are happening.
Yes, indeed. We go across to Castle Bruce, where the roadworks continue on the East Coast Road project there, as well as the construction on the regional emergency shelter in Castle Bruce. Over $150 million being spent on these two projects. The East Coast Road that goes all the way through Castle Bruce, from Wadi Up through Castle Bruce, through the Kalinago territory onto Hatton Garden.
That's
okay?
right.
So we look forward to that project there. And also the regional emergency shelter construction continues in Jimmet on the regional emergency shelter there.
Darrell, I know you have seen, you would have viewed it more than me, but the little that I've seen of that center in Jimmet, my goodness me, that is a wonderful building.
That is a huge building.
Huge building.
That is a huge building. Wow. That is a mammoth piece of infrastructure going on down there. Work also continues on the jetty over there in Soufriere. I know.
Well, I've not seen that project of late, but you're telling me that a lot of work has been. Yes.
In Grand Bay, I know that $2 million plus project is completed. That was the reconstruction of that culvert there and roadway in, is that Berikwa? Yes, in Berikwa up there by the cross there. And my goodness, Jyoti, what a piece of work that was done. That contractor, I know, is known for his wonderful work, but he outdid himself in this one. It's a wonderful piece of work up there, Jyoti. Wonderful, wonderful piece of work. Also, I think the health centers in Collyho, Newtown, Soufriere, and Bagatelle. If they're not complete, they're 99% complete. If they're not fully complete, they're 99% complete. Okay.
Well, so I had a glimpse at the one in Collyho recently, and I'm overwhelmed. You know, the type of structure, the quality, you know, that of work that has gone on there. You know, it is really marvelous, really tremendous.
Indeed, over all the projects, whether it's in Georgetown, in Portsmouth, whether it is in Viecas, whether it is in Maho, all these health centers. And what is important, I look forward to the naming of the new health centers, whether it's in Ansley May, whether it's in Newtown, whether it is in, what do they call that, Collyho, what have you. I'm sure suitable community health nurse or someone associated in the medical field will be identified, and these will be named appropriately when the time comes. These will be named appropriately when the time comes.
But Darrell, I don't know if you've taken note of what's happening at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital in terms of its new structure, it's in terms of its human structure. I'm talking about.
Yes.
And you know, it's wonderful to know that you know, things are put in place in terms of the service delivery at the hospital.
As I said yesterday, Dynamic Dominica is not about infrastructure, not only about infrastructure. We create these areas where you can go in, do your work. You have to do it properly and with the right attitudes. Because at the end of the day...
Very important, Darren. Yeah, very, very important.
We can have the best looking hospital in the world. If people prefer stay home than to go there to treat their illness because of the way they're treated, it will come to naught. Okay? So let us go out there and do what we have to do the proper work, do what we have to do, and ensure that...
And it has to be a new thinking, a new beginning, a new renaissance.
Paradigm shift.
Yes, a paradigm shift that people get to understand that the attitude means everything, especially in terms of service delivery. And you do not want people not wanting to go to the Dominica China Friendship Hospital because they're not getting the required service that they deserve.
I mentioned that the Emancipation Day celebrations are ongoing. We have African Dress Days, July 16th. That's tomorrow. It's African Dress Day. So every Friday until the end of July, it's African Dress Day. So July 16, July 23, and July 30, African Dress Day. There's an Afro-artistic event on Saturday, July 24, 2021 at the Old Mill Cultural Center from 5 p.m. Emancipation lecture, the topic British reparations for Caribbean slavery. And that is on Wednesday, July 21 at the Old Mill Cultural Center from 6 p.m. Paybush Drummers Culture Night, Friday, July 30 at the Paybush Primary School from 6:30 p.m. And Emancipation Day celebration, Sunday, August 1, 2021 at Hampstead Beach all day. Emancipation Day celebration. So
Hampstead
that is
Beach, all day.
So that is a very interesting calendar. They have their Emancipation lecture. Topic British reparations for Caribbean slavery. Wednesday, July 21, 2021 at the Old Mill Cultural Center. But starting tomorrow, July 16, and continuing every Friday until the end of July, African Dress Day. Okay? African Dress Day. Part of Emancipation Celebrations 2021.
I look forward. I know a lot of Dominicans are looking forward to the African Dress Day. It is a time when they will expose the African dresses, the different styles and fashions, and they can be elaborate sometimes, Daryl. Very elaborate. Africans are known to be very elaborate in their dress. And I know a lot of Dominicans are looking forward to parading in their different outfits.
Yes, Jyoti, we're in the second half of the year, and the year is moving by very quickly.
Very
We're hoping
quickly
that
indeed.
this hurricane season moves by very quickly with no fanfare. With no fun. People like to say
I like the way you put it.
little or
With
none. With no fanfare.
fanfare.
No fanfare at all. We're hoping that it moves forward very soon. It's the early stages, just their first week of holidays. But very soon, children will be back at school, and time flies by so quickly. So start getting their stuff early. Be careful. You don't want to buy shoes now, and next thing when it comes September, it's too small. So you have to judge that as well. Try to get the books early. Try to get them into the books so that they'll always be one step ahead when they go to school and what have you. Let them enjoy their summer
children
as well.
look forward to that.
Yes,
they look
yes.
forward to getting new guides, books, and whatever it is, school shoes and whatever. All in preparation for the new school year.
But let's see, September sometime. I'll get the exact date as to when school reopens in September. After that, we go into independence celebrations, our 43rd year of independence, 43rd year of independence, and we look forward to that as well. We're hoping that we can have some more activities than we had last year.
Last year or activities were curtailed, simmered down somewhat.
Yes, just to the Independence Day ceremony. But let's hope that we can have the school's parades. We can have the military parade that so many people look forward to.
Independence address, of course,
yes,
by the
Prime Minister. Let us hope that we can have, for example, the various cultural events, the cultural activities, and they are able to go across the island and not only be held virtually. And we can look forward to that. People can parade on Creole Day in their national wear variations and what have you. Let's hope we can have that.
And Dominica is probably the only country in the OECS when it comes to our independence celebration. We have a whole week of activities and that sort of thing.
Partner, from the time September ends.
And the dress and the dressing, the ladies
People,
look so
yes.
so elegant in their attire.
People look forward from the time September ends to every Friday, when the ladies have all sorts of different outfits. The men probably should get more involved. We just probably put on a little madras shirt here and there. But the ladies really, and
they really come out.
Yeah, that is one way of keeping up the culture. They come out with their different variations, modernized Creole wear and what have you. So that's very good. And then we go into Christmas, and then you blink your eye and we're into
Back
2022. Okay? So tomorrow will be Friday. Thursday, July 15, 2021 will be no more to never return again. And we look forward to the weekend. When is the last match?
I'm not too sure, Darryl. I didn't take note.
Maybe Saturday. But so far, so good. Even with the loss last evening, so far, so good. I'll give a 98% pass mark. Take out 2 for what happened in the final over last evening.
You're taking out 2.
Just 2 points for the final over last evening.
I'd probably take out more than that.
More than that?
I'll take out 5.
Take out 5.
Yeah. I didn't like what happened last night at all.
In the final over.
The final over.
Not the rest of the game.
No.
Yeah, the final over.
I think we brought it to a position where we could have won that game if those singles were taken. Who knows what would have happened.
I don't know why the singles. 4 dot balls. After the second dot ball, you take the single, man.
Mm-hmm.
After the second. But anyway.
I thought it was a misjudgment there.
Anyway, I guess people say trust the process. I guess that's part of the process.
And Darryl, our ladies are doing very well. The West Indian ladies are doing very well in the series against Pakistan. They've been on top of the situation. Good performances all around from the ladies. They're leading the way, really, as far as Cricket West Indies are concerned. And now, of course, we have to look forward to the remaining of the series against Australia. And the Pakistanis will be here after that.
Yes. Also, locally, I think there is a visited netball team from St. Martin. Let me see. I somebody sent me some information. Let me see if I get it there. I believe there is a visiting netball team.
There is a visiting netball team from St. Martin.
Yes.
Playing matches in Portsmouth against our under 14s and under 16s.
16 and what have you. So I'm happy to hear that. The sport of netball within just a month has taken a national prominence that it did not have before. The sport of netball. Once again, I commend the netball organization to include Regina Walsh, Decima Royer, Josette Seraphine, and others.
Lauren Barnes,
I was saving Ambassador Lauren Barnes Roberts there, who acts as some sort of international liaison, go-getter, make things happen sort of person, So I look forward to that. On the overseas line, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Great show. Mr. Darrell, I understood that you guys have been talking about all kind of sports, but is there not a marble competition coming up locally?
A what?
Marble competition.
I don't know. You want to sponsor one?
No, from what I've been hearing up in the States, that workers have been a marble competition.
A marble hole competition?
Yeah.
Well,
when I was a child, I used to play that in school. When one friend used to teach me, taught me at school, we used to play that, but no kids play marble anymore. Those kids, I understand.
Well, marble hole was something I enjoyed playing as well.
My favorite, one of my favorite sports, Mr. Darrell. But I want to big up the man Prosper and the man Oprah and the man Mr. Albert. And my brother, I must become a fireman and a great prime minister, the best in the world. Gentlemen, good program. And enough respect, and I love you guys. And stay safe.
Thank you very much. You have a good day yourself.
Marble hole competition.
Well, but Jyoti, yes, many things happening.
Well, Darrell,
we're in for a good rest of the year.
Yeah, the Cricket Association too. We must remember that they're having the 2020 competition going on.
Remind me, please, this morning.
And that is going on. We've been hearing, and the KPL up in the
KPL is on. The rain seems to be affecting matches of late.
Yeah,
but again, anyway, leave that alone.
Yes.
Leave that alone. The Olympics, I think people are starting to leave
Dominicans
for Japan.
Dominica will be represented. At the games.
Thea Lafont, who has qualified, who is ranked, I believe, 12th in the world in her field of jumping. Is it triple jump? Triple jump. And there is the other athlete, Danik Luke, who is also part of the setup there. And they're going over to Tokyo, Japan for the Olympic Games, the games which were postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic last year, they're going through within the next 2 weeks in Tokyo, Japan, and I can tell you what it is. I can tell you about the fanfare of having Olympic Games. Being in a city which is hosting the Olympic Games is a lifetime experience. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Okay, so I look forward to the Olympic Games. People, you choose. There are so many sports. You choose your sports from shooting. I know there are a lot of Dominicans who like to watch gymnastics. You know, to see the acrobatic prowess of the various people. And I know the U.S. is selling an all-black female team for the first time. All-black female team to take part in the gymnastics. I like diving.
Diving.
Yes, diving. High, low. I don't know the rules, but I like to see the diving.
Fellas stand up on the
high board up there.
The high boards and
flips and come down, you know. That's wonderful, you know. And I also like volleyball.
Well,
Jyoti, lots of things going on. What I can say to end is that a lot of things people have been asking for sports have all happened this year. It's all up to the organizations to see what they can do with the support that they have been provided.
Well, let's hope they can take and make use, make use and take advantage of the facilities that are being provided. And we want to see, I would like to see a lot more activity with regards to volleyball, basketball, and netball. Table tennis is a sport I used to play a lot. I love playing table tennis.
Hayford Lafo, good morning. Yeah. So, Jyoti, we'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week.
God willing.
God willing, we'll be back to wrap up the week. Until then, do have a very good morning.
Daddy, you dirty your clothes again, and mommy not there to help you though. Well, bam, bam, daddy dirty his clothes.
Easy breezy, busy bubble, laundry service on the hustle, washing, drying, folding service, washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies zone, cribs and toys, come on daddy, bring the boys. Dirty stains from wine and malts, come on man, it's not your fault.